It's time to plant some onions and potatoes in my community garden plots. They're some of my most favorite things to eat in the kitchen, so I'm particularly excited to get these started. The potatoes I grew last year were delicious, and I have some left over that I'm actually going to be planting this year that chitted on their own. But I'm also going to be honest and say that I've been fighting off feelings of overwhelm lately. It's really been for the past few months that I'm just trying to stay afloat, basically, between work and all of my little hobbies and projects, which admittedly, the overwhelm is somewhat self imposed because I have so many little projects and things that I do. But I was really overwhelmed to get this particular project going because it just felt like a lot. You could see in the last shot the garlic that I planted back on Samhain is doing really well, and then I had to weed the other side of the plot to plant the onions. And just thinking of the weeding was overwhelming. And I've also never grown onions before. So the anxiety of what if I do it wrong? What if they don't grow? Potatoes and onions in particular take a really long time and they grow underground. So the potential for something to go wrong feels high to me. Though when I was planting my onions, I did end up chatting with another community gardener, the one who coordinates getting all the onion sets to the gardeners who want to grow them. And he gave me some advice and made me feel a little bit less anxious about it. But basically, since before the holidays, I've been fighting this overwhelmed feeling between work, because I work a full time job during the week, and then I do all my little projects on the weekend, which then I also feel the need to document for YouTube. And then also everything going on in the world, it just feels like so much. And there are some days I just want to stay in bed all day and like not get out and just hide. But once I got started digging in the dirt, weeding is extremely rewarding. It's very cathartic to like rip out the weeds by the roots. And there are tools for it, but I just really like doing it by hand. And so all that to say that getting started was hard, but once I started feeling so much better and so much less overwhelmed. And the gardens, I don't have the sound on in the videos because the garden is near a busy road, so you don't get the benefit of all the nature sounds. You really just hear the road sounds in the video. But it's peaceful to be outside, and this time of year is probably my favorite time of year weather wise because the mornings are still cool and crisp, but then the days warm up and get sunny, and it's not humid yet here in the South in March. So I really loved being outside for this particular project. And I think digging in the dirt was very cathartic and helped me manage my feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. It also felt good to move my body in ways that didn't feel like traditional exercise. I work out for my mental health and physical health. I consider it a necessity, but it's boring to go to the gym sometimes and you feel like you're slogging away and just, doing it because you have to do it. But when you're gardening, you're getting that exercise, but it doesn't feel like exercise. You're just doing something rewarding and fun that's going to have a result eventually, even if it's in a few months. So, thanks for listening to my ramble. And I hope you have some projects that feel rewarding and give you something to look forward to.
So, I'm going to be honest, I have not been to this community garden in at least 6 weeks. I planted my garlic in the fall and I did a little bit of cleanup, but I have collard greens that I planted also back in the fall that I don't know what they're going to look like. Definitely need harvesting, and I definitely need to do some cleanup like in the beds that I'm going to plant the potatoes today. But just that feeling of overwhelm that I mentioned earlier, I have just been too overwhelmed. I haven't come to check on it or to weed or to do anything. So let's go see what it looks like. All right, first impressions. I have a lot of weeding to do. So this is the herb bed, which the rosemary actually looks okay. Need to clean up these flowers and just the herbs in general. I need to weed around them. That oregano is actually looking really good. The thyme, the sage, if I cut those back, they'll start growing. It's about that time. And then I need to weed over here. These are the collards that I mentioned, which this one is just dead, or it either broke off or they harvested it, but all the leaves are kind of like shriveled, so that leads me to believe that it died. But then I have these two, which we've been getting a decent amount of rain, which is why I haven't really been worried about watering as much. And then this is the garlic. You can tell it's not as big and fluffy as the other garlic. Probably need to fertilize this, and I definitely need to weed because garlic cannot compete with weeds. And then over here, okay, these must be my marigolds. I don't know why they're growing in. That's weird. I had turnips. I wonder if they got harvested. Yeah, got to clean this up. I think I'm actually going to plant the potatoes on this side because I did them on this side last year, and I think I need to swap. So weed this bed, put down some compost, and then do the potatoes. And then this one I definitely need to weed. And yeah, because these are starting to flower, which makes it harder. Like, it makes it harder to keep the weeds away if you let them go to flower. All right, so I got my work cut out for me here. I probably should come here first because now it's really sunny and it's going to be hot. But let's get started.
I think I was so exhausted after this entire day that I didn't film any kind of outro. So after I planted the potatoes in this garden, I decided to throw in a few more onion sets in this bed, and I'll plant some in the other bed as well, just because I had extra. And then I donated the rest to the community garden. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Consider giving it a thumbs up if you enjoy cozy content about gardening, crafting, and seasonal living. And I hope to see you next time.